Hello and welcome to Scrolling with Ceazor. Today is June 10th, 2026. We've got a lot of news for you today, a lot of tweets to talk about and stuff like that. But before that, let's get a look at the quick charts. So we've got a little bit of green and red. So red today, mostly ETH is down, bouncing around down there. It's looking bleak and sad. I did adjust this. I just haven't adjusted the chart. I think I'm down something like somewhere around here. I'll adjust it later when I'm actually feeling it's good. So this is just a CLP anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyhow, things are looking pretty bleak, but sad as well. So hype is back down a little bit more. Hasn't gone out the bottom of my chart yet, but so I'm still earning some rewards on this CLP, which is okay. Gold is looking pretty rough right out the bottom again. I am happy that I did sell some of these, but anyways, like gold's a tough one. And maybe it is pumped a little bit too much, but you know, I might bring it back down, right down to the bottom here, so I can have a nice wide range, and then hopefully get some trading fees out of that later. Where are we looking? What else? I wanted to look at the S&P. So the S&P dumped pretty rough the past few days. It's been like only down. So, but I do think it's like the S&P isn't never gonna like go to zero, right? So they'll recover it, but there's always these opportunities to buy these deep dips, but they go pretty deep. But how deep will they go? This one started to go pretty deep now. It can go quite a bit deeper, but there's so many factors in this, you know, like there's so much to consider when you're trying to decide where the bottom is on this kind of stuff. And then it's also a simple spot, you know, it's all purely capital gains or losses. So it's just a matter of buying and selling. So buying low and selling high. That's why I love like stuff like Ethereum instead, because yes, you know, there's still capital gains and losses, but I'm using like interest-bearing ETH. So if I do buy ETH here and it goes down lower, then at least I'm still earning APR on my ETH. And then while it's bouncing around in here, then I'm earning both APR on my ETH and my stable coins. It just makes so much sense to me. But anyways, I don't want to get into too much details there or, you know, dwell on that. Let's get over to the news. A lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, so first thing, Ethereum on exchanges has hit its lowest level in history. So if you kind of look at this chart, I guess this is the number of Ethereum tokens on centralized exchanges. And you got to remember, like back here and back here, there was significantly less Ethereum as well because it's an inflationary token, right? So especially way back here in 2023, and then this is like 2025 last year, and it's just, there's just so much less on the exchanges. I believe this is the price. And this is the amount of tokens on exchanges. As you can see, it just keeps going down and down and down and down. And but yeah, so it's significantly less than the years in the past. And then also, so no, the white is the price. Yeah, so then also like inflationary, there's a lot more tokens. So it's just, you know, basically anyone who's trading on size on centralized exchanges is having a lot more price impact. So that might be why selling is being so drastic right now. Will it recover? Will it go up? I'm hopeful. I am. But let's move on. So Igneous says tweeted this out today, and I thought it's pretty nice. So he's like, remember ETH unstaking Q FUD? Well, today the exit Q is 0. There's not a single token, according to him, that and this chart that it wants out. You know, the Q has 3 million Ethereum, $5 billion, with a 52-day wait. In order to get your ETH staked via the Q, you got to wait 52 days. So but they're still doing it. So Bitmine, the largest ETH staker, has 4 million ETH staked, and they keep adding as they buy. Grayscale moves Ethereum to Coinbase Prime for staking. So they're, you know, using Coinbase to stake for them, right? BlackRock staking ETF, ETHB stakes 95% of its holdings. Post-Spectre validator consolidation inflate the numbers a bit too. Yeah, so, and now we have ETH at, and all of this with ETH at 1.6K. So you can, maybe that's confusing and not clear, but the idea is that the big players they're not worrying about price right now. They're buying, they're jumping into staking, and they're waiting, they're playing the long game. So I suggest you do so too. And the best way to do it is to get APR on your ETH. Don't just buy ETH and hold spot ETH. There's so many places to put it. You can lend it, you can put it into LSTs or staked protocols. You can put it in liquidity pools and farm fees and trading fees versus your US dollars, whatever stablecoin you want, and so forth. Lots of options. You can also just mint a stablecoin versus your ETH, and then put that the stable coins to work in DeFi and gain APR that way. You can use that as a payment from, like a dividend payment kind of idea, where you're just, every day you're getting US dollars into your as APR, and you can use those to buy your life, right? Or you can buy more ETH, right? Moving on. So Baljan tweeted this out, which is pretty interesting. So there's this thing called Curvy Protocol, Curvy Swap, and it's like cross-chain privacy swaps. So yeah, you can apparently swap from one token to another token, cross-chain. So in this case, going from ETH to Base, and so swapping from ETH to USDC, from Ethereum to Base, and it's private. So you can't even see like who are on either side. So yeah, you can do that now. So check out Curvy Protocol and try that out. Okay, so I retweeted this yesterday. Today is VE33 day, and this is like the best way to do it in my opinion. Like, again, if you hold RAM and you convert it to XRAM, then half that RAM is burned, which is good for RAM holders and good for the token, right? You put it into this auto vote thing, and this auto vote thing just basically spreads your votes across the best pools, gets the best bribes, and then it takes those bribes and converts them into the token you want, whether it be Hype, USDC, or USDT. So you can either, you can either take a dividend in cash and use that to live, right, and buy your life stuff, right? Or you can use it to dollar cost average with your yield into the Hype token, if you think the Hype token is, if you're bullish on it and you want to buy and accumulate Hype tokens. So yeah, that's an option. Yeah, do that. Consider that. Okay, so I retweeted out this video here. It's a clip from the roll up. So here we have Sam, OG, Chad, talking about Frax Finance, the FRX USD compliant stablecoin, and I kind of summarized some of the things about it. It just makes so much sense to me. Just a few of the points. If you put FRX to work, you get their base rate. So they hold T-bills and stuff like this. Basically they're the same thing as USDC. Right, they have the same backing as USDC. You could definitely compare it. There's probably slight differences here or there, right? But the main idea is that it's roughly the same backing, like treasury bills and stuff like this. And that what they're taking is they're taking that yield and they're sending it to anyone who actually puts this FRX USD to work. So if you lend it or you put it in any of these, like Aave or any of these places, then you can get that base free risk streamed to you. Now, if you put FRX USD into EtherFi and you use their EtherFi Visa card, then while you're waiting, you're getting that base rate streamed to you in your EtherFi account. And then when you spend the FRX USD on life, right, then you get 3% cash back in WETH. And so then you could sell the WETH if you want immediately, or you can use that, you can speculate on that ETH and hope it goes up in value and so forth. If you put your FRX USD into SFRX USD on-chain, then you can get the base rate, and then it also deploys this capital to other places. So you don't have to worry about, I got to get into Aave because there's a nice rate there. Just put it in SFRX USD, and they will put in Aave and other places for you. The last thing I mentioned here is that you can pair your token your token, whatever your project token is with FRXUSD, and you can get that best base rate as well. You got to reach out to them and set it up. Like even my shitty like sandwich coin, meme coin thing, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Even that thing is paired with FRXUSD. Now I haven't set up the base rate because I only have a tiny amount of money and it's not worth all the trouble, but I'm going to be setting it up pretty soon if the pool increases to a higher TVL. Moving on, so here we have Andre Cronje retweeting this BTC Chad guy here. I can't remember, he's just a Maxi, right? He's like, it's crazy how almost no crypto apps have rate limits. Laughing my ass off out loud. And then he's like, almost, and Andre, retweets this out. So I do have the circuit breakers open here, and you can read through this if you want, but basically Flying Tulip has circuit breakers. So if there's a large withdrawal from Flying Tulip, then stuff is paused automatically. They don't have to push the button, they pause it, and then the community and the devs can check why was there such a big withdrawal, and then, oh, okay, it's all good, it was legitimate, and then they can, turn this stuff back on and stuff like that. Now you can read through all the details. The details are here. The coolest thing here is that, like, if you have a withdrawal and then this number gets triggered, then everything's paused, but then your withdrawal is queued, and then the team can be like, yeah, okay, it's fine, and then execute it for you, and then the withdrawal will land in your wallet. Whereas before it was like it was paused, and then you would have to come back and resubmit the transaction for these put withdrawals. So yeah, there's a lot here. You can read through more of this if you want, but it's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, moving on. So here we have Liquidity. They're talking about Sentinel. Sentinel is the team that runs the IPOR carry vault. So there's a vault where you can deposit ETH. That ETH is used to borrow BOLD. That BOLD is stuck in Curve, and then all the yield is used to buy more ETH and get you more ETH, right? So that's happening already, and you can take advantage of that. However, this team is setting up a bribe schedule to bribe people who hold LQTY staked, and you can vote with it, right? And that's going to start next week, and it's about $600 worth of bribes, and you can vote on it, and then you will be directing some of the borrow rate to this IPOR vault, and then this IPOR vault will have more sustainable APRs. Okay, so yeah, that's happening. You can check that out. If you hold LQTY, then it's a good idea to consider staking it so you can vote. That's the only thing you can do with this token. Okay, moving on. So Stacy is talking about Lido Finance lost 26% of their TVL in the last 30 days. She does go into it a little bit, but so in the last 30 days, there's been a 28% drop in TVL, but Lido's TVL fell 26% because they have APR, right? They have a significant amount of APR and maybe some other revenue generation type stuff. And then there's also maybe some, addition, right? Like people have added to their TVL a little bit, right? to bring down that drop. Now, this is a case of TVL is measured in US dollars, and I don't think it really matters to them. Like this is an ETH staking. This TVL number should be measured in ETH, not in US dollars. I don't think that we need to look at Lido and be like, oh, their US dollar value is going down, because we all know everyone who holds ETH is going down right now, and Lido's main product is ETH. So I don't really know if this is a significant news event, and it's kind of expected. However, I thought I would mention it and kind of clarify that in how I see it. The last thing I'm going to mention today is attacker drained old Radium pools. Radium did retweet about this and say, we're aware of this. It was old pools. But 810 ETH kind of sitting in old pools just got drained and sent through Tornado Cash. So yeah, this is significant. These old Radium pools are like Uni V3 style pools. So, you might want to think about that. I don't know how much Radium changed stuff before. Well, they must have changed it quite a bit because they had to like use Solana, right, which is SVM instead of EVM. So they must have rewrote the entire code base of Uniswap when they forked it, right? Or I assume they forked it, or when maybe they just copied the idea, right, and started from scratch. But they would have to start from scratch. So yeah, that happened. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is my Temple of Sandwich. There are 20 members here, 2 people online right now. It's a chat room, okay? Now the purpose of this chat room is pretty straightforward. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to reward people with these sandwich tokens just to post funny stuff. It doesn't have to be your funny tweet. You see a funny tweet on Twitter, come here, submit it. It costs you $1 to submit because it is a contest, and that $1 is put towards next week's contest, right? So you do have to do that, but it's pretty straightforward. You just come, you click the banner, you paste the tweet in. You need to have like $1 worth of tokens on base to basically buy the sandwich and submit it. It's all pretty straightforward and easy. But yeah, I'm hoping that this place will become a place where, you know, people will go to kind of have a good laugh and look at some funny tweets, and that's what I'm hoping for this thing, the Temple of the Sandwich. Now, I don't choose what's funny. The sandwich god chooses. It's an AI bot. It looks at the tweet. As you can see, I've submitted some. My submissions are excluded from the contest. I can't win. But I submitted a few here so you can kind of look at it and see like what does he think is funny, and you're trying to tailor to this AI bot's sense of humor. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope this has been interesting and useful and helpful, and thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.